Dear brothers and sisters, I welcome you all to hear and see this video message. In this video, I am going to explain how cow production violence in pre-independence British India. Content for this video I given in the description. You can go through and study. Cow production related violence is perpetrated by individuals or groups for the purpose of protecting cows and the related cattle from slaughter or theft. Cow production, rakshak groups emerged in British India in the 19th century, starting with Sikhs of Punjab in the 1860s. The earliest recorded instances of violence in the colonial era India are from the 1870s. The cow production movement spread thereafter, and the 1880s and 1890s witnessed many instances of major cow-related violence. The cow killing riots of 1893 were the most intense civil disturbance in the Indian subcontinent after the 1857 revolt. Numerous cow-related Hindu-Muslim riots broke out between 19 and 1947 in different parts of British India, particularly on Islamic festival of sacrifice called Eid-ul-Adha, killing hundreds. After the partition of the Indian subcontinent into a Hindu majority India and Muslim majority Pakistan, one of the significant triggers of riots, the killing of Hindus and Muslims and other violence in the 1950s and the 1960s was cow slaughter. The Koli riot of the 1714 in Gujarat was in part cow related. A Hindu had attempted to start the spring festivals of Holi by burning a public holika bonfire, a celebration that his Muslim neighbors objected to. The Muslims retaliated by slaughtering a cow in front of the Hindu house. The Hindus gathered, attacked the Muslims, seized the Muslim Pachat's son and killed him. The Muslims, aided by the Afghan army, sacked the neighborhood, which led Hindus across the city to retaliate. Markets and homes were burned down. Many Hindus and Muslims died during the Holi riot. The cycle of violence continued for a few days, devastating the neighborhoods in Ahmedabad. The cow-related violence and riots repeated in the years that followed. Through the only documented the 18th century riots in Ahmedabad are of 1714. The anti-cow killing riots of 1893 in Punjab caused the death of at least 100 people. In the 1893 cow killing riot started during the Muslim festival of Bakrid. The riot repeated in 1894 and they were the largest riots in British India after the 1857 revolts. Riots triggered by cow killing erupted in Lahore, Ambala, Delhi, United Provinces, Bihar and other places in the late 19th century. In Bombay alone, several hundred people were killed or injured in cow-related violence in 1893. The cow production related violence were a part of larger communal riots, religious disputes and class conflicts during the colonial era. Cattle production related violence continued in the first half of the 20th century. Examples of serious cow production agitation and riots include the 1909 Kolkata riots after Muslims sacrificed a cow in public, the 1912 Faizabad riots after a Maulavi taunted a group of Hindus about how he was with, the 1911 Muzaffarpur riot when in retribution for cow slaughter by Muslims, the Hindus threatened to discredit a mosque. In 1916 and 1917, over the Muslim festival of Eid-ul-Adha, two riots broke out in Patna with widespread rioting. looting and murders in major cities of Bihar. The British official banned house slaughter during Muslim Eid-ul festival of sacrifice. According to British colonial records, Hindu crowds as large as 25,000 attacked Muslims on Eid day. Violence broke out at multiple sites simultaneously, and local authorities were unable to cope. Many serious anti-cow slaughter and cow production related riots broke out between 1917 and 1928 across India, particularly on Muslim festival of sacrifice from Punjab through Delhi to Orissa, leading to the arrest of hundreds. In the 1920s, over 100 riots, 450 deaths and 5,000 injuries were recorded in Bengal, which was divided in 1947 into East Pakistan and West Bengal. Two primary causes of the violence were Hindus' Durga Puja procession playing music, which continued as they passed near Muslim mosque, and Muslim killing cows in open during Eid-ul-Adha. In 1946, rumors spread in Bengal that Hindus had secretly conspired to stop cow sacrifice on Eid-ul-Adha by bringing in Sikhs and arms into their homes. On the day of Islamic festival of sacrifice, September 1946 states Badya Bayal, the rumor spread among the Bengali Muslims congregated in mosques. The crowd coming out of the mosque then raided a large number of Hindu homes trying to find the arms and the Sikhs. Violence continued for about a week with frequent incidents of stray killings and looting. During the British Raj, there were several cases of communal riots caused by the slaughter of cows. A historical survey of some major communal riots between 1717 and 1777 reveals that out of 167 incidents of rioting between Hindus and Muslims, that although in some cases the reason for provocation of the riots was not given, 22 cases were attributed directed to cow slaughter. More importantly, the cow has tended to become a political instrument at the hand of rulers over time. The Mughal emperor, that is Babur, Akbar, Jahangir and Aurangzeb etc., are said to have imposed a restricted ban on cow slaughter to accommodate the Jaina or Brahmanical feeling of respect and veneration of the cow. Similarly, Shivaji, sometimes viewed as an incarnation of God who descended on earth for the deliverance of the cow, and Brahmin is described as proclaiming, "We are Hindus and the rightful lords of the realm." It is not proper for us to witness cow slaughter and oppression of Brahmanas, but the cow became a tool of mass political mobilization when the organized Hindu cow production movement, beginning with the Sikh Kuga or Namdari sect in the Punjab around 1870s and later strengthened by the foundation of the first Korakshani Sabha in 1882 by Dayananda Saraswati, made this animal a symbol to unite a wide-ranging people, challenging the Muslim practice of its slaughter, and provoked a series of communal riots in the 1880s and 1890s. Although attitude to cow killing had been hardening even earlier, there was undoubtedly a dramatic intensification of the cow production movement when 1888 the Northwestern Provinces High Court decreed that cow was not a sacred object. Not surprisingly, cow slaughter very often became the pretext of many Hindu-Muslim riots, especially those in Azamkar district in the year 1893, when more than 100 people were killed in different parts of the country. Similarly, in 1912 and 1913, violence rocked Ayodhya, and a few years later, in 1917, Shahabad witnessed a disastrous communal conflagration.